April 5th, 2026. Zanzibar, Tanzania. Rose petals. A giraffe. A ring. And the word she chose to caption what would be her very last Instagram post. Chapter 31. And I'm exactly where I need to be. 5 days later, Ashlee Robinson was dead. She was 31 years old. She was engaged. She had over 145,000 people following her life online. And right now, in April 2026, her body is still in Tanzania. Her family still has no official cause of death confirmed to them. And the man who was with her that night, her fiance, has barely said a word. Here is what we do know. There was a fight. Hotel staff separated them. And within 2 to 3 hours of that separation, hotel workers found Ashlee unresponsive. The local Zanzibar police rushed to call it suicide. Her family says that makes no sense. And the more you sit with the details of this case, the timeline, the silence, the 11-hour delay, the fact that her family found out from the hotel and not her fiancé, the harder it is to just accept the first explanation you're handed. This is the story of Ashlee Jenae, and we're going to walk through every single detail. If this is your first time hearing about this case, do not scroll past. If you have been following it, stay, because we're going deeper than anything you have seen so far. Her legal name was Ashlee Robinson. She was born on April 5th, 1995, in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. She grew up in South Jersey and later relocated to Miami, Florida, where she built the kind of life that she spent years documenting and sharing online. Online, she went by Ashlee Jenae, and that name carried weight in a specific corner of the internet. She had amassed over 145,000 followers on Instagram, where she posted luxury travel content, home decor, elevated fashion, date nights, and what she described as intentional living. Her content was not just aspirational. It was personal. It was relatable. It felt lived in. She was part of what is often called the soft life movement, Black women who are actively choosing rest, beauty, and standards over grinding endlessly and settling for less. But she was not just posting aesthetics. She identified publicly as a divestor. In online communities, particularly among Black women, a divestor is someone who has made a deliberate decision to raise her standards financially, emotionally, romantically. It means stepping away from relationships and dynamics that do not benefit her growth and being intentional about who she allows into her space. Ashlee was outspoken about this. She talked about it in her content. Her audience followed her in part because she was willing to say what many women felt, but did not always have a language or platform to say. Her father, Harry Robinson, described her simply. She was always smiling. She loved being in front of the camera. She lit up every room she walked into. Her mother, Yolanda Denise Endres, said, "They were in a gorgeous place in Africa and happy. Everything we knew was that she was supposed to be happy. She was engaged, she celebrated her birthday, and then she was just gone." Before Zanzibar, Ashlee had been documenting her relationship with Joe McCann on her social media. She posted photos of the two of them together. She shared moments from their time as a couple. Her audience watched this relationship unfold in real time, and some of what they saw raised questions long before Zanzibar ever entered the picture. Comments on her posts over the months leading up to the trip included warnings. People in her comment section said things like they did not trust the energy, that something looked off, that the relationship raised concern. Ashlee acknowledged some of the commentary, at one point replying to a comment about safety with a dismissive, lighthearted response. The way many of us do when we are in something and we do not see what others see from the outside. She also made an appearance in Drake's music video, one of 22 models and influencers featured in the production. That moment gave her mainstream visibility beyond her existing audience. But it is who she was to her family that matters most here. The daughter who called her parents on FaceTime to show them she was safe and happy. The woman who just told the world she was exactly where she needed to be. Drop a comment below and tell us, were you following Ashlee Jenae before the story broke? Or are you just now learning about her? Joseph Isaac McCann is 45 years old. He is based in Miami, Florida. And by every professional metric, he is a prominent figure. His LinkedIn profile and company website describe him as having over 25 years of experience across Wall Street and Silicon Valley. His career history includes positions at Microsoft, Passport Capital, a high-profile investment firm, and NodeSource, a venture-backed startup that he took through successful exit in 2019. Most recently, McCann was the founder and CEO of Asymmetric Financial, a crypto-focused hedge fund and venture firm. The firm managed what was called the Asymmetric Liquid Alpha Fund. It drew serious institutional capital. Investors included names connected to Andreessen Horowitz, one of the most recognized venture capital firms in Silicon Valley, with connections from its co-founders Mark Andreessen and Chris Dixon. His estimated net worth at the time of this documentary was reported at approximately $45 million. But in December 2025, just 4 months before this trip to Zanzibar, McCann announced he would be shutting down the Liquid Alpha Fund. Reports circulated on social media that the fund had suffered losses of approximately 78% throughout 2025. McCann did not publicly dispute those figures in any verified statement. What that means, practically, is that by the time he boarded a flight to Tanzania with Ashlee Robinson in April 2026, he was overseeing a fund wind down. His financial empire was contracting. This detail has not been officially connected to anything that happened in Zanzibar, but it is part of the full picture of who Joe McCann was in the months leading into this trip. McCann's asymmetric operation had also pivoted into stealth mode software development, focused on crypto infrastructure. The company had been acquired by a firm called MG Stover, according to professional profiles at the time. After Ashlee's death, attempts by multiple major news outlets, ABC News, CBS News, CBS Philadelphia, Newsweek, to reach McCann for comment were unsuccessful. He did not respond to requests. It is not confirmed whether he had retained legal counsel in the United States. He remained in Zanzibar initially, with his passport held by Tanzanian authorities. What we know about how he communicated with Ashlee's family after her death is limited, and that limitation itself has become one of the most talked about parts of this story. Zanzibar is a semi-autonomous archipelago off the coast of Tanzania in East Africa. It is known for its white sand beaches, clear water, and high-end resorts. For a lifestyle influencer celebrating a milestone birthday and newly in love is exactly the kind of destination that makes sense. According to Tanzanian police statements, Ashlee and Joe McCann arrived at the Zuri Zanibar Hotel on April 4, 2026. Prior to that, they had also spent time at the Serval Wildlife Resort, where the engagement took place. The Zuri Zanzibar is a luxury property. The villa where the couple stayed was priced at close to $950 per night. This was not a budget trip. This was a curated experience. On April 3rd, before Ashlee's birthday, Joe McCann got down on one knee during a safari. The moment was captured on video. Ashlee dropped to her knees in joy and said yes. She posted the video to her Instagram. The caption was simple and full of emotion. Her comments section filled immediately with congratulations. On April 4th, she posted the words, "If this is a dream, no one wake me up." A friend shared screenshots of a private text exchange from the same day. In it, the friend teased about crashing the wedding. Ashlee responded warmly, said they would not need to crash it, they would be invited. She mentioned they might just elope, then joked about wanting a big after-party instead. The tone of those messages was light, excited. She sounded like someone who had just gotten everything she wanted. On April 5th, her actual birthday, she posted her final Instagram content. It was a montage. Photos of rose petals on the ground, spelling out HBD Ashlee. A clip of her feeding a giraffe. Moment from her birthday celebration in Tanzania. The caption was Chapter 31, and I'm exactly where I need to be. Her fiance replied in the comments with 2 words, with me. That was the last post she ever made. After April 5th, Ashlee Jenae went silent on social media. For a creator who posted consistently, nearly every day, that silence stood out to people who followed her. Her mother recalled that Ashlee called home on FaceTime to show her family the trip. She showed them the beauty around her. She shared the engagement. She was communicating. Between April 5th and April 8th, what happened between Ashlee and Joe McCann at the Zuri Zanzibar is a question that remains at the center of everything. What the cameras captured and what witnesses reported between April 5th and April 8th is where this story begins to shift. According to witness statements gathered by Zanzibar police, the couple had been arguing not just once, not just briefly, but repeatedly over multiple days. Police stated that other hotel guests had reported a domestic disturbance. The description used by investigators was a romantic conflict. That conflict was significant enough that other guests at the resort felt compelled to alert hotel staff. What was the argument about? That has not been publicly disclosed by authorities. Whether it involved the financial situation surrounding McCann's fund collapse, whether it involved something personal between them, whether it escalated over something that happened during the trip itself, none of that has been confirmed in official statements. What is confirmed is that the tension between them was visible enough to draw outside attention. Ashlee's audience, meanwhile, noticed the silence. When a creator who has documented every meal, every view, every meaningful moment, who posted video of her engagement and her birthday, suddenly goes quiet, people notice. Her followers began messaging each other. Her close friends grew concerned. Her friend Savannah was among those who later went public. She said on social media that the day the news broke, she and others had been trying to reach Ashlee, but the silence felt wrong. And while all of this was unfolding publicly, Ashlee's family back in the United States had no idea anything was wrong. As far as they knew, their daughter was on the trip of her lifetime. She had just gotten engaged. She was celebrating her birthday in Africa with the man she loved. They had no idea that by the night of April 8th, hotel management would be forced to physically separate Ashlee and Joe McCann. If you're watching this and you followed Ashlee before this happened, share this video. Not for views. For her. The more people know her story, the harder it is for it to disappear. The subscribe button is right there. Hit it so you do not miss the follow-up when new information drops. On the night of April 8th, 2026, hotel management at the Zuri Zanibar made the decision to intervene. The conflict between Ashlee Robinson and Joe McCann had reached a point where staff felt they had no choice. They separated the couple. McCann was moved to a different villa, approximately an 8 to 10 minute walk away from where Ashlee was staying. The two were no longer in the same space. Zanzibar police later confirmed this sequence. The couple checked in together on April 4th. Witnesses reported frequent arguments throughout the stay. On the night of April 8th, hotel management formally stepped in and relocated McCann. Approximately 2 to 3 hours after that separation, hotel staff found Ashlee Robinson unresponsive in a closet inside her villa. A belt was around her neck. Staff acted quickly. Emergency services were called. She was transported to a nearby hospital. She was still alive when she arrived. Ashlee Robinson was pronounced dead the following day, April 9th, 2026, according to some reports, with others placing the confirmed time of death at April 10th. The discrepancy in exact date has not been fully clarified in official statements. What is not disputed? She died at the hospital, not in the hotel room. Now here is where the family's pain deepens significantly. When McCann reached out to Ashlee's mother, Yolanda Denise Endres, he called to say that Ashlee was in the hospital. Endres asked him when it had happened and where. McCann told her that the incident had occurred 11 hours before he was making the call. 11 hours. Ashlee had been hospitalized for nearly half a day before her own fiance contacted her mother. Then the communication stopped. No further updates from McCann came. The next time the Robinson family heard anything was from the hotel itself, not from Joe McCann. The hotel called to say that Ashlee had died. Her father, Harry Robinson, described the weight of that in an interview. He said, "The fiancé did not reach out to us at all. We found out from the hotel." That is devastating when your daughter is halfway around the world. We just want to know where she was at, who she was with, and that she was okay. Just give us something. Her mother described it as uncertainty, mystery, anger, sadness, a part of her being taken. McCann's initial account, the account he gave to police, was that Ashlee had taken her own life. That was the version of events that North Onwuja Regional Police Commander Benedict Mapudra initially cited when he spoke to local media. He said that investigations had found no evidence linking the fiancé to criminal activity. But Ashlee's family rejected that conclusion immediately and publicly. Her parents told TMZ she was a beacon of light. She showed no signs that she would harm herself. They said the suicide narrative was presented to them early, but they had received no official, finalized ruling. And that is where things got complicated for everyone watching from the outside. Within days of Ashlee Robinson's death becoming international news, the official response in Zanzibar shifted. On Monday, April 14th, 4 days after Ashlee's death, Joe McCann, 45, was formally brought in for questioning by Zanzibar investigators. The Deputy Director of Investigations in Zanzibar, Zuri Zanibar, confirmed that McCann was being questioned and that his passport had been confiscated. Tanzanian authorities were not releasing him from the country until the investigation was complete. In a press conference, investigators stated that McCann was being treated as a witness, not as an accused party. He was cooperating with police, they said. No charges have been filed. However, the deputy director later refused to provide any further comment to the Associated Press, stating only that investigations were ongoing. The Zanzibar government's Ministry of Tourism and Heritage released a statement. It read, "We respectfully request continued patience and understanding as law enforcement officials proceed with their investigation, ensuring due process and upholding integrity for all parties concerned." The Zuri Zanibar Hotel issued its own statement. Management said they were deeply saddened by the tragic incident involving one of their guests, and that they were providing full cooperation to local authorities and the U.S. Embassy. The U.S. State Department confirmed it was monitoring the case. A spokesperson issued a brief statement referencing the Trump administration's commitment to the safety and security of Americans abroad. No further official action from the U.S. government was confirmed at the time of this script. Meanwhile, Harry Robinson, Ashlee's father, traveled to Washington, D.C. to personally press U.S. government officials for help establishing contact with Tanzanian authorities. That effort produced a result. Officials confirmed that the autopsy had been completed on Tuesday, April 15th, but the family still had no results. As of the writing of this script, Tanzanian officials had not released the autopsy findings to the Robinson family. They were told only that the investigation remained ongoing. There is one detail from a local Tanzanian outlet that has circulated widely online. A report stated that internal records listed the immediate cause of death as cerebral hypoxia due to strangulation and suffocation. That language, if accurate, is significant. Cerebral hypoxia refers to oxygen deprivation to the brain. The phrase strangulation and suffocation is being cited extensively in online discussions about this case. It is critical to note, these findings have not been officially confirmed by Tanzanian authorities in a public statement. The family has not received official documentation. The information comes from a local outlet's reporting, not a verified governmental release. What the family has also not received: hotel surveillance footage. Harry Robinson has specifically pointed to the resort's camera system. He said there are cameras everywhere at a resort, and that footage should match the timeline. He said, "Just do the investigation and let us know." McCann has not made any public statement since Ashlee's death. Multiple major media organizations, ABC News, CBS News, Fox News, Newsweek, confirmed they were unable to reach him. It is not publicly confirmed whether he retained legal representation. Harry Robinson and Yolanda Denise Indres have not stopped moving since the night they found out their daughter was gone. They spoke publicly to local Philadelphia ABC station WPVI within days of Ashlee's death. They gave interviews to CBS News. They went to Washington, D.C. to push for answers at the embassy level. They set up a GoFundMe page to raise $50,000, money needed for travel, repatriation arrangements, and costs related to the ongoing situation. That campaign exceeded its target, raising over $42,000 before the goal was updated. As of this documentary, Ashlee's body has still not been released to her family. She is still in Tanzania. Her parents are waiting. Indres told WPVI, "My daughter Ashlee, she's no longer here with us, and we're trying to find out why." Harry Robinson said, "Nothing about it makes sense. It just doesn't add up." He also said, and this line has been shared widely, "I just know I need to keep moving forward. I'm never going to give up. I just want the truth out there." The Robinson family has also made a specific request public. They want the hotel surveillance footage reviewed. They believe the cameras at the Zuri Zanibar captured what happened that night, and they want that footage to be part of the official investigation. They have heard very little from McCann since Ashlee died. By their own account, communication from him essentially stopped. The family described it as very, very odd. A man who proposed to their daughter days before her death who was present the night hotel staff intervened, has not reached out to the family of the woman he was going to marry. Ashlee's friend Savannah went further. She posted publicly and said, "We need justice for my friend Ashlee Jenae, who was found dead in her hotel in Tanzania, and her fiance, Joe McCann, claims she took her own life. Anyone who knows Ash knows she would never do this. We need answers now." The online community that followed Ashlee has continued to push this story forward. Across YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram, content creators and commenters have kept the pressure up. They're sharing the details, calling for the surveillance footage, questioning the timeline, asking why it took 11 hours for her fiancé to call her family. That last question has become a defining detail of this case for the people who care about it most. This is the moment in the video where I need you to do something. If Ashlee's story matters to you, if you think every woman deserves to have her death fully investigated, subscribe right now. Turn on the bell notification. Because when this case develops, when new information drops, you want to be the first to know. We will cover every update. Do not miss it. Let's be clear about what is confirmed and what is not. What we know: Ashlee Robinson arrived in Zanzibar on April 4th, 2026, with her fiancé Joe McCann. They stayed at the luxury Zuri Zanibar Resort. They had become engaged days earlier during a safari. On April 5th, Ashlee turned 31 and posted what would be her final Instagram update. We know that between April 5th and April 8th, multiple guests reported ongoing arguments between the couple to hotel staff. We know that on the night of April 8th, hotel management formally separated the two and moved McCann to a different villa about 10 minutes away. We know that 2 to 3 hours after that separation, a hotel worker found Ashlee Robinson unresponsive in her room. We know that she was transported to a hospital and died the following day. We know that McCann called Ashlee's mother 11 hours after Ashlee was hospitalized. We know that after that call, he went silent. We know the family learned of her death from the hotel and not from him. We know his passport was seized by Tanzanian authorities and that he was questioned as a witness. We know the autopsy was completed April 15th. We know the family has not received the official results. We know a local report cited the cause of death as cerebral hypoxia due to strangulation and suffocation. That has not been officially confirmed. What we do not know: what triggered the repeated arguments during the trip? What was said or done between the engagement on April 3rd and the separation on April 8th? What the hotel's surveillance footage shows? What the official autopsy results say? Whether any charges will be filed? Whether McCann will make any public statement? What we do know about the bigger picture: Ashlee Jenae was a 31-year-old black woman who died overseas under disputed circumstances. Her family is still on U.S. soil fighting for her body to come home and for answers about how she died. Her fiancé has not spoken publicly. And without the continued pressure of public attention, there's a real risk this story fades before any accountability arrives. That is not a political statement. That is a pattern. Cases involving black women, particularly cases that happen outside the United States, have historically received less sustained media coverage. Ashlee's community online has been fighting against that tendency since the night her death was announced. Her father said it plainly: she was loved. She was not just going to be discarded and forgotten about. And that is the line that should stay with you. Ashlee Robinson, Ashlee Jenae, was born in Philadelphia. She built her life in Miami. She built an audience of over 145,000 people who watched her chase a better life on her own terms. She told the world on April 5th that she was exactly where she needed to be. She did not come home. Right now, as of this documentary, the investigation in Zanzibar is ongoing. The autopsy results have not been officially released to her family. Her body has not been returned. Joe McCann has not spoken publicly. And her parents are still fighting, not just to bring her home, but to find out what actually happened in that resort villa on the night of April 8th, 2026. This case is not closed. This story is not over. We will be updating this case the moment anything new comes out. If you want to be here for that update, subscribe right now. Hit the like button so this video reaches more people. And leave a comment below. Do you believe the official explanation? Do you think the hotel surveillance footage is the key to this case? Tell us what you think. Every comment keeps Ashlee's name in circulation. And right now, that matters more than ever. Her name was Ashlee Jenae. She was 31 years old, and she deserves answers.